race. So we did that and we made history because we understood it was a numbers game. So we had to outwork the party and we had to outwork our opponent. And we're both Democrats, and we're both Democrats in leadership within the party. So there was a divide within our caucus, you know. So when you have those type of systems in place, it does make it very hard to run for office. It does make it very hard to engage voters authentically. So this is why it's important, if you don't believe in voting, that you do cast your vote, because people aren't spending this type of money for nothing. Your votes do matter. Also, someone in the audience mentioned lobbyists. I believe it was you. You mentioned about filling up against the lobbyists and the elected officials. That's true. But here's the thing. The reason that is, the lobbyists can only give so much money by law. They can only give so much money by law. What they do is they then flood the state house with the people that support that particular bills, and they intimidate our lawmakers. And because our lawmakers don't hear from us, they 9 out of 10 vote in the interest of that special lobbyist group. So it's very important that if you're not a lobbyist, you create your own system of support based on the interests that you have and rally your elected officials, because I guarantee you, your elected officials will do more for you than they would a lobbyist if they thought or knew you were going to vote, because you determine whether or not they come back to that office, not the lobbyists. So it's all about knowing how to play the game. So I just wanted to kind of share those tidbits. Also, I want to talk about the misinformation. So that was kind of interesting to me, because how in a race, you do have people saying, I'm this, my opponent is this and that, and they're saying their truth, or what they deem to be their truth. So I think that we have an obligation to kind of research that for ourselves, because if we only put that on the candidates, we're setting ourselves up for failure. You know what I mean? We're feeding into this system to keep us out, because again, what's the first thing I just said? They want low voter turnout. If there's low voter turnout, they are able to dictate the race, and they are able to decide who's going to be your next elected official on both sides. Don't give them that power. It's a fair, free election for a reason. We have to take that power back. And if that means we got to get up and go vote, we get up and go vote. If that means we go vote during early voting, we do it early voting. If that means we call our county building and say, hey, listen, election board, voter registration, where can I go vote at? What days can I go vote at? We have that obligation. I heard that a lot of you guys were saying feel pressure. I hate you feel that pressure, but there's some form of obligation that we have if we want our voice to be heard. And if we don't maximize our vote, we don't have the numbers, to your point. And if we don't have the numbers, we can't impact the policies we want. So we have to be strategic, and we have to mobilize. This is really an easy game to win. Everyday people can win the game if they just engage or re-engage. The lobbyists, like I said, by law, there's only so much money they can give, and so many times they can be at the state house or wherever. Go ahead.
So you keep saying we. So what do you mean by we? Like, what is
people, everyday people. Everyday people. Okay. You, me, because I'm not a lobbyist. I was the president of the caucus, but I can guarantee you, our Caucasian counterparts, there was a lot of things that I had to bring to their attention and say, hey, listen, wait a minute. That bill that you're trying to get passed hurts my people. That bill that you're trying to get passed is not a favor to my people. And we're in the same party sometimes, or I'm talking to a Republican. So when I say we, I mean us. You know what I mean? We have to really be in the fight to win it. We have to really maximize our time and just vote. That's the key, getting out to vote. If you actually start voting, people will then start paying attention to subsets. Right now, you guys are a subset, the young folks, right? When was the last time you saw an elected official come speak to you directly?
An elected one? Like a district?
Elected official.
Once I live in Indy, so I had Andre Carson come to our school and stuff like that.
I'm talking about like in a town hall.
Oh.
Yeah. A public town hall.
I was there. No, did they come talk to me about it? No, I was there.
And the reason for that is because when we pull the data, we're able to see who's voting, what ages, and then we decide how much money or time and effort we want to give. You rarely have people going out to those places if they've already wrote you off. If they said those people on the east side don't vote, don't waste your time on the east side, they're not going to have their candidates go to the east side. But guess what? The east side of Indianapolis has the most need, has the most food deserts. You know what I mean? So the things that impact at the state house impacts the east side a lot worse than it would across the city. So it's important, wherever you live, vote. Especially if you come from a destitute area, vote, vote, vote. It really matters. And I guarantee you, you'll start seeing elected officials come to your side of town, try to get your interest, not just your vote, but they're gonna actually wanna hear what you're saying, because then they will start to take you credible. Right now, they don't take a lot of people credible because they look at the numbers, and numbers don't lie. And they're able to project trends. And then they say, okay, well, we already got this in the bag, next. So please keep that in mind, everybody. That's all I have about that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for speaking.